and I'm taking out one to show you. This is the bottom, this is the top, but I want to show you. On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I will be sharing with you how to make some cinnamon rolls. Yes, cinnamon rolls. You know, it's back to school time now, so you might want to try a little of those if you are, or a few of those if you have never done that. I want to say special thanks to my patrons that have been making my page possible. If you would like to be a part of my Patreon family, click on the link in the description. Post notification shout out goes to Sheppy Bradshaw and also to Jojo. Ladies, manners and respect. Now, today, cinnamon rolls. I have in here, this recipe calls for 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 3 1/4 in, and I have left about, just about the other 1/4 cup. We're gonna show you how we'll use it. I've got in here 2 tablespoons of softened butter right there that you can see. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. That is all that I have in there. Here I'm going to be using coconut milk, and it's going to be coconut flavored cinnamon rolls. To this milk I'm going to be adding about 1 tablespoon of my sugar in my warm coconut milk. And I've got right here, hiding round the back, my yeast. I'm going to put my yeast. This is instant yeast. My salt is to that side. Try not to let your salt go on your yeast, or this yeast and the salt directly. Okay, you have instant yeast and you have active dry yeast. Active yeast, you've got to put it in the liquid, wait on it to proof. Instant yeast, it goes in the dry mixture. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting about 3/4 cup of this coconut milk in there. It's gonna make it so nice. We may need a little, we may not need it. Right on over here, I've got my mixer. You can do this by hand too, but and work for that today. I'm gonna put on, you need your dough hook to put on, so you're gonna start it off on the lowest speed and you're gonna start mixing around. Yeah, lowest speed. You're gonna start mixing around. So as it mixes around, yeah, if you want to stop, you can stop. You want to get all the dry ingredients mixed in. So you see what is happening? Start it on the low. We are going to be mixing this for another 5 to 7 minutes. We want a very soft yet workable dough ball. Okay, we're gonna mix it until it starts pulling away from the sides and it forms a ball, a dough ball from the bottom coming up, holding on to the dough hook. Okay, so I'm gonna let that go on, and when that has happened, I will come back to you. So you see, it has formed that ball. It has cleaned the bowl. So nice, so beautiful. And you see it's starting now to the gluten, the yeast, the gluten that the yeast with the flour that it is producing, that stretchiness, it is starting to happen right now. So you see it is going to be start messing up back the sides a bit, but it's going to be there until it cleans, and that is how you get the gluten in all these yeast doughs. You've got to work the dough. As I showed you in the bread, I worked it with my hand, but me not work it this time with my hand. I'm using my KitchenAid mixer. Okay, so this has been going on for probably about 2 minutes. So we have another 5 minutes to 6 minutes going on. I'm gonna let it go there. As it happens like this, you can increase your speed. You can put some, pressure on it, and you can see as it goes, as it gets the pressure. Look at that. Look at it. It's working its way, working its way, and you see that elasticity is starting to form. When all of that has happened, I will return. There we go. So you're up your speed when it comes to, you see that? You see that ball forming? it's ready. I'll show you also again when it's ready. Do not lubricate your hands with oil, just your bare hands, dry hands. See, I touch the dough, it's not sticking. That means the dough is ready. So on a clean dry surface, you're gonna flour lightly with this little other cup, a quarter cup of flour. We're gonna use a little of it to lightly dust it. You don't want a lot of flour getting incorporated in there now. Or if you don't have your surface, you want to use your board. I happen to have the surface at this point. I never did have the surface before. So see, this is your dough. So this is how your dough, you want your dough. This is cinnamon roll, so you don't want your dough no softer. You see that? See, it's not sticking to my hand. Wow, so beautiful. This is a beautiful dough, really beautiful. So you just want to pull it in a bit. Pull it in, just a few, maybe about 8 or 10 kneads. This is the most beautiful cinnamon dough you can ever get. It doesn't get better. You see that? So you don't want a lot of flour right there. You see that? Beautiful. So what we're going to be doing, it's warm. Make sure your dough is warm. You're going to form a ball right here. This is a beautiful, and let me show you. You see that stretch, and it's not, you see it? Look at this. Right. I have here a ball that has been greased. Olive oil, melted butter, whatever you want to use, it doesn't matter. The purpose of this greasing is to let the dough not stick in there. We're going to set it for 1 hour in a very warm place to let it rise. A clean tablecloth, or you want to put your plastic wrap on. 1 hour time, we will come back and we will proceed with our cinnamon roll. So, you see that? So we have a nice dough. So we're just going to deflate it. You see that? Warm and nice and everything. So at this point, what we want is to get a little flour. We are going to flour our surface lightly again. So, okay. Getting my dough with a little flour on it. Also, I'm going to roll it out to a rectangular shape. I'm using a 13 by 9. So, you want to make sure that you flour your rolling pin so that it does not stick. 13 by 9. So may I roll out this to a rectangular shape. So you want to have your dough something like this, rectangular, 2 short sides and 2 long sides, and it doesn't have to be the perfect shape. Melted butter, and you're gonna generously put it onto the dough. Put it on really generous. Putting it on generously. Why? We have some cinnamon and brown sugar, cinnamon powder and brown sugar that we mixed, that we made, and we are going to be sprinkling the dough with that mix. So it have to have something to hold it. Melted butter, and it not for cool, it must be warm. Cinnamon powder and the brown sugar. And you're going to dust your dough generously. Don't go like overboard. Yeah. You're going to use your hands. Your bare hands you use to do this. You can. That's why it's called cinnamon roll. So this is the cinnamon powder and the brown sugar. You want to do this generous because as it melts, it will give it that pretty color. Now we have showed you everything. We are going to start rolling. If you want, you can roll from the short side, depending on the container that you have. But this is my container. This is the container that I have. Inside I'll be rolling from the short side. So you just start there a little gently. You don't have to rush. Start making this. Shoot them up on this, make them see what I do right there. So, yeah. And you roll tuck in, make sure it's properly, yeah. And as you go along, you can just start folding up. So you see, as you roll and go, your dough is not supposed to be sticking to the surface. If that is happening, something has gone wrong. Roll up. As you go along, this is dough. You try to, you play around, as I always say to your family, play around with dough. Every dough has something to play with. You see it? This little part is too fat. You just shape it out as you go along. Yeah, man. Kitchen you there now. Kitchen we say. And no kitchen run, we run kitchen. So you want to get it right like that. And you want to make sure you tuck in your sides right there. And you want to pinch up, pinch up, pinch up. Just as you pinch your bread. Pinch it and make it stay. You want it to stay closed. So carry it over and pinch it. Close up the roll. You want close up the roll. Yeah. Make sure you're closing up the roll. Take the end and flap it over. Anything you have to do for close it. Pinch it. Fold it until you see it look like it's, you see that? All right. Now, some people use strings. I'm not really try to use a string. I'm trying to get the half. Yeah, so it'll look like somewhere right here. So maybe I might not be the accurate person. I always use a sharp knife. This one is not the sharpest though. So you want to get it. You don't want to put too much pressure on it, Don't worry about it. This is how it comes. And you see that? So you're going to put it there. You see that? Remember, it's going to proof again for the second time. You see that? Okay. The first one is always a challenge. The last one, it came a bit big. So we have a little bit of an inaccuracy going on, but it doesn't matter. Now this is how they look. We are going to leave them to proof for the second time around. Cinnamon buns, they are not anything that is all the same and accurate. Them just want to come up with a nice look there and then, have that nice taste. So we're going to leave it again to proof with our plastic wrap on it for about 30 minutes. And when we come back, you'll see what will be. As you can see, our second proofing is over. I use a little bit of a foil paper to make a separation because I want them coming up as opposed to coming wide, which wouldn't be a problem. At this point, what I like to do is gently brush again with the remaining. My brush is not 100. Wow. I'm always having problems with, so you have to be very careful. Now just tap them a bit with some extra melted butter. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna be putting on some more cinnamon sugar at the top there to give it that pretty color when it is finished baking. So with our excess cinnamon sugar, I just want to come right here, just gently. Just try your best to just be neat with this, just to put this extra coating of cinnamon and sugar at the top. When they are finished, you'll see the beauty of them. So you want to do it right around where you put all that. So the melted butter will help it to hold as we did, and as it bakes, it will just melt, and the sugar will melt, and you'll have that pretty color at the top. Our oven is preheated at 350 degrees, and that is Fahrenheit. And we're going to go in there for about 20 to 25 minutes the most. So when you see me next, oh, you heard that. Right on. Next clip. Okay, now family, this is our finished cinnamon rolls. You reserve a little butter. And you brush it again for that extra sheen at the top. And you let it cool down. So these are cinnamon buns. They are so beautiful. Wow. So I'm gonna let them cool down a bit, and then I'm gonna come back, open up into one, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So really hot, fam, really hot. And I'm taking out one to show you. This is the bottom, this is the top. But I want to show you, wow, this thing is so hot, but I want you to look at it. Look at this. Look at the softness. Ooh. You can let it cool, and if you want, you can put some like glaze, icing glaze. We don't care for that because it's sweet already. I just want to show you something. You see how it unfolds? Look at that. Look at the type of dough that we had. So soft. Wow. It is so beautiful. Wow. So beautiful. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Remember to give me some big fat thumbs up. Thumbs me up for these videos. Leave me a comment below. Have you ever done this? I did this the very first time, probably about 45 years ago. I did this in high school. Those were these and this and Swiss roll or jam roll, the same thing. You know, that sort of roll there where you use that little soft pastry. I don't remember the name of the pastry. It's a very delicate pastry. I think it's the most delicate pastry. We use it and roll it, spread the jam, almost like this, you know, but it's a different type of pastry. Thanks for loving. Thanks for supporting. Remember to leave me a comment below. Remember to make sure you check out my Patreon page. Our merch store is still there, fam. You don't even check out my merch store anymore. We are going to revamp it. Remember to do that. Remember to check me out on Instagram. Coming September, we will be starting our Zoom. We will be having a discounted price at how many times, and we'll be getting ourselves in time for us. So some people, the time that we normally do it, it wasn't in accordance with their timing. So Zoom cooking classes showing you how to make menus, Jamaican menu, and how to do the dishes. Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas, all of them sitting there come up, and all those things. Remember to check us out. Leave me a comment below. There's a number from me in the comment section. Reach out to me for no hanky-panky reasons, you know that. Thanks for loving, thanks for supporting. Coconut flavored cinnamon rolls. Can you imagine the taste of this as it cools down? With that coconut milk?